Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our beautiful winter weather window from this afternoon. And it wasn't a bad day, was it? This shot from our Jump Off Ridge Sky-Fi Tower camera, you can see right smack dab in the middle of your screen. That's Wenatchee Heights, and that's where our cross camera is that we use a lot of the time. This is a wider view of the Wenatchee Valley. Beautiful day out there with blue sky, and temperatures still not quite back to normal, but still not bad. One little hitch in our weather before we get to the weekend, and that is tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night, more snow in our forecast. In fact, all of us in our viewing area will see a little bit of snow, only about an inch from Moses Lake over into Wenatchee. But as we get into the mountains, there you see it, 8 to 12 inches possible once again around Stevens Pass and all throughout the Cascade. So past travel will be treacherous on Friday, and we'll talk more weather coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A 19-year-old Moxie man came to East Wenatchee and threatened another teen with a gun over a debt. A man awaiting trial for allegedly robbing a Banks Lake campsite and then endangering 4 children in the process failed to get his case dismissed yesterday. And Stevens Pass reopened this morning after being closed since late Tuesday morning by heavy snow, vehicle spinouts, and avalanche control. But first, we begin tonight. The identities of 2 people killed last week when a vehicle crashed into a Wenatchee barber shop have been released by the Wenatchee Police Department. The accident killed 61-year-old Colleen Johnson of East Wenatchee, who was a passenger in the vehicle, and 25-year-old Jesus Fausto Curiel of East Wenatchee, a customer in the barber shop. An unidentified 23-year-old male employee of that shop was also critically injured and remains at Harborview Medical Center in Seattle. Wenatchee Police Captain Edgar Reinfeld said 3 others suffered minor injuries, 2 inside the barber shop and the driver of the vehicle. Police say the unidentified driver is believed to have suffered a medical emergency before the accident, crashing into another vehicle before swerving into the Avenue Barber Shop at the corner of Chelan Avenue and 2nd Street. That accident happened about 6:30 Thursday night. Meanwhile, a 19-year-old man from the Yakima area allegedly drove 2 hours to threaten an East Wenatchee resident who he said owed him money. East Wenatchee police arrested Riley J. Jackson on Sunday after he allegedly messaged the victim with death threats and a photograph of a firearm. Police say Jackson then traveled from Moxie to East Wenatchee and stopped at the victim's residence along with 2 other men, one of whom was believed to be armed with a handgun. Jackson was the only person arrested in the incident. Police are seeking a charge of felony harassment. Well, a man awaiting trial for allegedly robbing a Banks Lake campsite and endangering 4 children in the process failed to get his case dismissed yesterday. 33-year-old Kai Michael Shelton has been in jail since November of 2019, 2 months after he allegedly robbed the campsite and struggled with the occupants. His partner, Becca Rosenberg, participated in the robbery while her 4 children waited in their getaway van. Rosenberg pleaded guilty last summer and was sentenced to 17 months. Shelton argued his case as he spent too long in limbo because Douglas County trials remain on hold during the COVID-19 pandemic. But Judge Brian Hubert denied his motion to dismiss. Shelton is still in the Okanagan County Jail on $100,000 bond. He still has no trial date, but Hubert plans a hearing March 1st to assess whether the case can go forward. Well, Stevens Pass reopened this morning just before 9:30 after being closed since late Tuesday morning by heavy snow, vehicle spinouts, and avalanche control. Initially, Washington State Department of Transportation required chains on all but all-wheel drive vehicles on Stevens Pass. Traffic on both Stevens and Snoqualmie passes has been disrupted since Friday by heavy snow and avalanche dangers. Snoqualmie Pass was also closed for about 2 hours early yesterday afternoon for avalanche control as well, but currently it's open with no restrictions. Well, coming up next, the Cascade Loop has been named a National Scenic Byway by the Federal Highway Administration. The city of Wenatchee is stepping up to help cover convention center utility costs during the pandemic. 3 elementary science teachers in Washington have been selected as state-level finalists for the 2020 Presidential Award in STEM, and one of them is in Wenatchee. And Mission Ridge Ski and Board Resort opened its new Wenatchee Express chairlift this morning for the very first time. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
My name is Anaisa Lemus, and I teach at John Newberry Elementary. I had a tooth in the front that was just always causing me problems. It was just happening so regularly. I went to go get a root canal done, and the root canal didn't help a whole lot because then it came back. Both of my parents went to Dr. Divis's office. They really recommended him because he had done such a great job on their teeth. I went and really have had a really pleasant experience with him. He just made me feel really at ease with everything. He was really confident with what he was doing. He said, this is one of his favorite parts of his job, which really made it easier for me because, when you're really passionate about something, they're going to do a good job. As a teacher, my students, I'll tell them randomly sometimes, oh yeah, with my fake tooth. They're always so shocked. Like, what? It looks like your real tooth. And I'm really happy with the results now.
This is Dr. John Divis. Please call us today.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Welcome back. In another news, one of Central Washington's most scenic road trips now has national recognition. The Cascade Loop was recognized yesterday as a National Scenic Byway by the Federal Highway Administration. The 440-mile loop includes the Upper Wenatchee Valley, the Methow Valley Highway, and Stevens Pass. The Cascade Loop Association has been working for years to get the federal designation, which recognizes U.S. roads based on their archaeological, cultural, historical, national, recreational, and scenic qualities. The route is one of just 49 to win the designation this year, and the only one in Washington. The city of Wenatchee will take on some of the overhead costs of the Wenatchee Convention Center, which has suffered during the pandemic. The center is owned by the city but operated by Coast Hospitality. City Executive Services Director Laura Merrill told the City Council last week the cost will be about $100,000. The city's expenses should eventually be reimbursed out of a lodging tax.
Due to the impact of COVID, the building has been shut down, but they still have a lot of fixed costs such as keeping the lights on, utilities, water, and so on and so forth. And so that is what's being shifted to the city's responsibility. Domestic water, sanitary sewer, natural gas, electric power, and telephone service. So as I mentioned, the pandemic has caused quite an impact not only to the building, but just tourism, events in general. Not being able to gather has been one of the consistent things. While things have fluctuated over time in terms of what's open and what's closed, indoor gatherings have pretty much been, not allowed in any shape or form.
City Council member Linda Harold is sales director for the Convention Center. She recused herself from that vote. Well, in other news, a Wenatchee teacher is one of 3 state finalists for the 2020 Presidential Award for Excellence in Mathematics and Science Teaching. Wenatchee Internet Academy teacher Tina Nickpen Brown is now eligible to become a national finalist for the STEM teaching honor, which comes with a $10,000 award. The finalists for the state's highest STEM award were selected by a statewide committee. A Yakima and an Everett elementary school teacher are the other two finalists. Brown previously was a teacher at Lincoln Elementary. Well, Mission Ridge Ski and Board Resort opened its new Wenatchee Express chairlift this morning for the first time. The high-speed chairlift replaces the old Liberator Express and features chairs with plexiglass bubble covers and shorter ride times. In a video earlier this month, Mission Ridge owner Larry Scrivanich said the new lift will be transformational for the Wenatchee Ski Resort.
Well, I'm standing here at Midway watching this Wenatchee Express spin for the first time, and it's quite a exciting feeling. It's a long path of from where it started to here. I'm just proud of everybody. I feel like this lift is going to transform Mission Ridge. It's transformational. It's going to be the focal feature of the ridge. That with the natural beauty and skiing that we have here is something special, but this is going to be transformational.
Looks awesome. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you. Aging and Adult Care offers many in-home care options and services for seniors and family caregivers. But did you know they also offer free in-home delivered meals? Aging and Adult Care has expanded its program for home-delivered meals to help elderly and vulnerable adults at this challenging time. If you are in need of prepared meals or know someone who could benefit, call Aging and Adult Care for more information about free home-delivered meals. Call 509-886-0700.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Currently, COVID-19 vaccinations are being given to people age 65 and older or people 50 and older who live in multi-generational homes. In tonight's features story, so what does multi-generational mean? Chelan Douglas Health Officer Dr. Malcolm Butler explains.
Would you please define multi-generational? And you're asking that question because you're referring to the fact that the, Phase 1B1 guidance includes people over the age of 65 and people over the age of 50 living in a multi-generational home. So the idea here is that many families are caring for people in their home who are vulnerable. And so elders or disabled family members who are being cared for at home, we want to make sure that they get the vaccine. Put in context, a lot of folks like this live in nursing homes, and the nursing homes have already been vaccinated. So if you're over the age of 50 and have a caregiver who lives in your home and cares for you, okay? So you're over 50 and you have a live-in caregiver, or if you yourself are over the age of 50 and you are caring for someone in your home who isn't your child, so it needs to be a grandchild or a nephew, then you would be eligible to receive the vaccine. So you need to be over the age of 50 and live in a home with multiple generations that are there, meaning grandparents, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, and either are unable to care for yourself or are caring for somebody else in your home. Now, that is super confusing. Everybody who's heard that thinks it's super confusing. And anything that takes two paragraphs to explain is confusing. So what I would recommend is if you go to the Phase Finder, and again, you need access to the internet to do that. If you're watching me, you probably have access to the internet. But you go to it's called findyourphasewa.org or Phase Finder. So FINDYOURPHASEWA.org, or just Google Phase Finder or Washington Phase Finder, and just answer the questions, because they'll go through and ask all these questions. Are you over the age of 50? Are you caring for someone in your home? And they will tell you if you qualify or not.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great day and it wasn't too shabby outside today, that's for sure. I mentioned at the top of the newscast that even though it's still below where we should be for this time of year, man, days like this sure nice, aren't they? Lots of sunshine out there. Temperatures mainly into the mid-30s today, but a beautiful shot. Here's the Wenatchee Valley as we look down from Jump Off Ridge and our Sky-Fi tower camera up that way. Right here, Wenatchee Heights, and our cross camera. Unofficial high temperature today, we finally got a little bit warmer. 35 unofficially this afternoon. 42 is our normal high temperature. We started off the day at 19. 28 is our normal low temperature. We're going to get normal real quick, and we'll talk about that in a second. Record high 59 degrees. That was set back in 1982. Record low 7 in 1993. Sunrise this morning 7:02, and the sun will set this afternoon at 5:28. Let's take a peek now at what we can expect as we get into Thursday. Yeah, short work week already Thursday tomorrow, and it's going to be a snowy one. Almost all of us have a good chance for, seeing snow tomorrow. I think it'll happen mainly late in the afternoon and throughout our evening hours. 37 in Moses Lake, 35 for Quincy, 34 the high temperature tomorrow in Wenatchee, 28 Lake Wenatchee, and 35 with snow also for you folks in Lake Chelan. Let's take a look at that surface loop now. Tonight, patchy fog. You can see it. We're right on the edge of it with increasing clouds throughout the night because, yes, there is that moisture that will move in as we make our way into Thursday. Not so much in the morning, but here we go. Late afternoon and early evening, a 60% chance of the white stuff. Don't expect snow events like we had over the weekend. It will last into our evening hours. This is about midnight or so before we see a break in that. About 1 to 2 inches of snow is possible Thursday night into Friday. By Friday afternoon, though, partly cloudy skies, a light west wind, and we'll see a little bit warmer temperatures than we'll experience tomorrow, mainly in the upper 30s to around 40, and our warm-up continues on Saturday. Partly cloudy skies. We will see increasing clouds late, but it will be warmer too, and look at the flow of air from the southwest. But there's our next weather maker, and that'll come our way on Sunday because of this atmospheric river. We've talked about it quite a bit, a narrow corridor of concentrated moisture, and that's what we're seeing in the Pacific Northwest right here and into British Columbia. We're the lake where that river drains into the upcoming weekend. Mostly cloudy, a 40% chance of that rain on Sunday, but much warmer with that very mild flow. But you can see almost all the way from Wenatchee west into western Washington, a good chance for snow, and it will be warmer with high temperatures between 45 and 50. And then on Monday, mostly cloudy skies. There we have it again. 40% chance of some leftover rain, and we will be unseasonably warm on Monday with highs near 50, maybe as close to 55 for you folks in the Columbia Basin. A little windy too on Monday. For Tuesday, mostly sunny, maybe some mountain snow showers on Tuesday. It will be slightly cooler, but I'll tell you what, it's still going to feel awfully good out there with high temperatures mainly, once again, in the mid to upper 40s. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. 25 tonight, 34 tomorrow and snow. And here's that warm up with rain as we get into the end of the weekend. A 40% chance for rain on Sunday and Monday, 48 Sunday, 52 Monday, and 48 on Tuesday. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Dr. Wayne Latimer's Chiropractic and Integrative Multicare specializes in all level of injury care. If you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, have a sports injury, or a simple fall, call today for a free consultation. They offer a combined multi-care approach with medical, chiropractic, physical therapy, massage, and acupuncture. For relief from long-standing injuries to basic solutions for the weekend warrior, Latimer's Chiropractic Integrative Multicare is one stop, one location.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu because we work to get you to work.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Tuesday to you. Some normalcy back in North Central Washington. Whistles could be heard, coaches barking at players, the thud of shoulder pads as bodies collide. Football returned to North Central Washington high schools yesterday. The only thing not normal about it was the fact there's snow on the ground. And, oh yeah, it's February.
Come on here, guy. Go that one. God, if I gotta repeat myself, it ain't gonna be any fun.
Of course, as you saw there in Kashmir, Mother Nature provided quite the challenge for area high schools to get back on the fields. Coaches, players, and parents all worked to pitch in and clear fields in order for teams to get out to practice around North Central Washington yesterday. Thanks to the effort. The countdown also on for NCWLIFE channel to resume broadcasting live sports on TV. Woo! It'll begin on Thursday, March 4th with a swim and dive meet at Eastmont Aquatic Center between the Wildcats, Moses Lake, and Wenatchee. We'll be at the Apple Bowl the following night for Moses Lake and Wenatchee football. We'll follow that up with girls soccer on Saturday, March 6th at Eastmont as the Wildcats host the Chiefs. You can get our complete schedule for season 1 of the schedule. I know it's all kind of screwed up, but head to our website, ncwlife.com, for more information. Well, the Wenatchee Apple Sox continue preparing for the upcoming summer collegiate baseball season with the signing of 2 assistant coaches. Head coach Ian Sanderson has added Danny Pulfer and Wyatt McKnight to his coaching staff for the summer. Pulfer joins the Apple Sox nearly a decade after playing a couple of seasons in minor league baseball in the Arizona Diamondbacks organization. He's currently an assistant coach at Towson University in Maryland. Coach McKnight served at Lynn Benton Community College as the catching coach before joining the Apple Sox. He currently serves that same position at Umpqua Community College in his hometown of Roseburg, Oregon. Apple Sox set to begin the 2021 season June 1st against Nanaimo at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Well, pitchers and catchers will report to spring training for the Seattle Mariners in Peoria tomorrow. Position players will still have until the weekend to report with first full squad workout next week. Seattle and the rest of Major League Baseball hoping to complete an entire season after having last season shortened by the pandemic. One guy who's certainly eager to prove he belongs is Dylan Moore. The utility player says he doesn't care where he plays. He just wants to put in a full season in Seattle.
That I'm going into spring training trying to win a spot. I think that, being pushed by players on the same team to win a spot makes us better. And I think that, I'm going in with the mindset I don't want to be handed anything. I want to be deserving of the spot that I'm given. And so I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go at second. I'm ready to go in the outfield. I'm ready to go wherever. And that's kind of what's made me a valuable player, is I can do all of that. But I'm a baseball player. Wherever you put me in a lineup, I just want to hit and play well, and then, like I said earlier, help this Mariner team get back on the winning record. I think I speak for everyone when I say that, it's time for the Mariners to win. We put together a good ball club of some young guys and like a core group of guys, and now we kind of got to put a full season together. It starts with, the leaders that we have and Marco on the pitching side and Kyle Seager, teaching us how to play the game right and, kind of going through those aches and pains of a rebuild, so to speak. And now it's time to win. So I'm looking forward to having a solid season with the guys and being a little bit selfless and looking forward to playing together as a team and winning as a team.
Mariners expecting to play the first Cactus League game a week from Saturday against San Diego. Well, as the mind races to spring and talk about baseball starting, it's not too early to think about golf. Lynn Miller is with a new program in our area called First Tee. He says it's all about getting kids into golf.
The program is about an introduction. We're making fun golfers, hopefully knowledgeable golfers, but really what we're after is to build the life skills and get these kids out in the community, resources that would normally not be accessible to them. Some of the less fortunate kids, get them on the golf course, teach them a little bit about life, make great kids, and maybe good golfers.
Miller says First Tee has been around for about 20 years and includes golf enthusiasts from coast to coast.
This is an incredibly mature organization. So they're in all 50 states, 150 chapters, and as we investigated setting up Wenatchee, they said, well, we're kind of overwhelmed with the number of chapters, but it would be perfect if you joined in with Yakima as a kind of a rural expansion. There's large activities in Seattle and the South Puget Sound and Spokane. They've been going about 10 years. National organization's been 20 years, and we started our first activity in Wenatchee in 2018.
Miller says the great thing about First Tee is that it teaches life lessons and not just golf for kids starting at 7 years old.
Participants generally enter when they're 7 to 9 years old in we call it programming, or a class that is built around the 9 core values. So typically there's an hour-and-a-half session. The level they enter, it's called player, and they will perhaps take that class once or twice. It's either twice a week for an hour-and-a-half or once a week for 9 weeks to complete the player class. Started at 3 Lakes, and now we're also offering that at Rock Island.
You can watch that entire interview with Lynn Miller on our website at NCWLIFE.com. You want to find out more about the program, go to firstteecentralwashington.org. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Grantstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And as we leave you tonight, conservative broadcaster Rush Limbaugh, who entertained and influenced millions and propelled waves of Republican politicians, has died at age 70. Limbaugh was an influencer and media icon before the age of social media, a hot take machine who transformed talk radio and embodied a counterpunch to what many on the right contended was a liberal media establishment. He had announced to listeners last year that he had stage 4 lung cancer. Limbaugh's death Wednesday morning was confirmed by his wife Catherine at the start of his radio program. Former President Donald Trump awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom at the State of the Union address in February of last year. Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. On Valley, Dr. Mark Johnson. He's an epidemiologist with Confluence Health. He's been on this show before. Going to give us the latest COVID-19 vaccination updates, including some important information for you people who are ready to get your second round of inoculations. Dr. Johnson, my guest tomorrow, plus your weather forecast, news, sports, and everything you need to start your Thursday. We invite you to start it live and local right here. Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Dan, and that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellingson here from Live It Up. Join us every week as we answer your questions on health, wealth, and relationships.
We're all about you creating a life that you love, so tune in to Live It Up.